Holly Warner, and welcome to Holly's House. Y'all have to excuse my voice today. Today we're going to be doing a wonderful versatile sauce called puttanesca sauce. I want you to be sure and get your pad and pencil because we are going to be sharing the recipe with you in just a minute. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors for making this show possible. BorderBandit.net, Ram Country, Rick's Furniture, Val Verde Regional Medical Center, and Plaza del Sol Mall. I really would like to encourage y'all to write to me, ask me for a recipe, send a stamped self-addressed envelope, write to me, Holly Warner, Holly's House, care of KTRG TV 10, Post Office Box 421635, Del Rio, Texas 78842. And we'll be right back with the recipe for puttanesca sauce right after this. Hey, welcome back to Holly's House. Y'all, I've had this cold for about a week. I really apologize for my voice, but y'all, I just love doing the show so much that I didn't want for them to have to rerun another show. I hope y'all have your pen and paper ready. We're going to be doing puttanesca sauce. This is on page 17 of my cookbook, Haute, Texas, New Foods on the Frontier. This actually, the name of my cookbook was given to me by my good friend and good customer, Jan Dingler. It's a really good cookbook. We just got a bunch more in at Avanti. We're located at 600 East 12th Street, one block off Avenue F, right behind Hilo Auto Parts. So y'all stop by and see me. And this is on page 17. Now y'all get your pen and paper, and I'm going to read the recipe for y'all. So, excuse me. For this recipe, we're going to be using oh, by the way, this also, I entered a contest with this recipe, and I won. It's a really great recipe. Okay, you will need 4 pounds of Roma tomatoes chopped, half a cup of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a half a cup of sliced black olives, a half a cup of sliced green olives, a half a cup of capers, 12 cloves, I know that sounds like a lot, 12 cloves of garlic chopped, 1 cup of chopped fresh parsley, a half a teaspoon of sea salt, and 8 anchovy fillets, mushed or chopped. A lot of people are scared of anchovy fillets, but they add so much flavor to the recipe. It's a very easy recipe. It's basically going to be cooked all in one pot. Unlike, excuse me, unlike most Southern Italian sauces that cook for 7-8 hours or more, this one is ready in 30 minutes. And legend has it that it was invented by the ladies of the night in Rome because it incorporates everything that you would have in a really well-stocked Italian kitchen. And like I said before, unlike most Italian sauces that cook forever, this one is ready in 30 minutes or less, and they had time to eat it between tricks or something like that. So loosely translated, it means harlot's pasta, but we at Avanti we bill it as pasta puttanesca, a lusty sauce. So I really wanted my friend Christy Callahan to be on the show with me today. She works at Val Verde Regional Medical Center, and besides myself, she is the puttanesca queen. This is a wonderful, hearty, chunky sauce. I use the Roma tomatoes because I feel like they have a lot more flavor, a lot more meat than a normal, like a big boy or a hothouse tomato. If you can get tomatoes out of your garden, any variety out of your garden would be great. Also, I'm going to be showing you several different things to do with the puttanesca sauce. I have some beautiful homemade fettuccine that Jaime made for me at the restaurant. I have some pizza crusts, and there'll be some other things that we're going to be doing with the puttanesca sauce. So we'll be right back. And I'm going to put the sauce together and show you how quickly it goes together and how quickly it cooks and all the different things that we can do with the puttanesca sauce. And we'll be right back with more Holly's House right after this. Hi, welcome back to Holly's House. We're going to start preparing our puttanesca sauce. And as I said before, we're going to be using 4 pounds of Roma tomatoes. I just wanted to share with y'all how I like to do the tomatoes. You want to cut your ends off like so and discard them because you don't want end pieces showing up in your sauce. And then we're going to quarter the tomato like so. You want to just roughly chop it because you want your sauce to be chunky. And then we'll just cut like so. My knives are not very sharp. I'll have to get Daddy to sharpen for us. Okay, so we have our Roma tomatoes all nice and chopped. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on and turn the fire on under my pot. I'm using an enamel pot, a non-reactive when you're making a tomato sauce. Get it hot, just a little bit hot, before I pour in my olive oil. If your pan's hot before you put in your olive oil, then you don't have to worry about anything sticking. Just a little trick that I learned through trial and error. So let's turn that on. That's nice and hot. So I'm going to put my olive oil in now. And when you think about it, this is actually about a 1/4 cup. I'm just going to use about a 1/4 cup. This is going to serve anywhere from 10 to 15 people. So if you think about it, there's really not that much olive oil in it, so it's relatively healthy. And we bill it as a low-fat dish at the restaurant. So we're going to get our olive oil hot, and we'll put in our tomatoes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at my cookbook. See, I need to be looking at my cookbook. I'm going to put in my garlic first. Be careful not to overcook or burn your garlic because that would impart a bitter taste to your sauce. So you want to just toast that lightly. That smells good. Now we'll put our tomatoes in. Here we go. Tomatoes. And stir those around and get them coated with the olive oil. Let me turn this down a little bit, just a touch. Okay, let's stir that around. Now, like I said before, this is a very chunky sauce. So your tomatoes, and it's also a colorful sauce too because of all the different colors in it. Yeah, that makes sense. So you don't want to overcook your tomatoes, otherwise they'll get smushy and the peeling will start coming off. So we're going to let those cook just a little bit like that. And now we're going to add our anchovies. And stir that around a little bit. Most Americans are so afraid of anchovies. But you know, in Italy, they actually eat them whole, fried. You know, they're just little fish like that, like smelts, and they're just wonderfully flavorful. Okay, our anchovies and our garlic. Now we're going to add our capers. I put capers in everything, don't I? I love capers. 1/2 cup of capers. Or more, because they have a little hot flavor to them too. Okay, turn that up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to put in our black olives. And we're going to put in our green olives. Now, if my friend Christy were here from the hospital, we wouldn't put green olives in because she doesn't like green olives in her puttanesca sauce. So at the restaurant, I don't put green olives in the recipe. And you know, if you don't like black olives, leave the black olives out and just use green olives. It's just whatever you prefer. Okay, we're going to stir that around. Okay, now we're going to put in our oregano, 1/2 teaspoon or a tablespoon. I'm just going to sprinkle it around like so. Now what I would have done, or what you could do, is when you're using a dried herb and a fresh herb, like the parsley is a fresh herb, you could chop your dried herb with your fresh parsley, and that's going to bring out the flavor of your dried herb a little bit more. So we're going to put in half a cup of parsley. And we're also going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, which is just about a good pinch like that. Perfect. Even though the olives and the anchovies have a lot of natural occurring sodium in them, you still need to put a little bit of normal salt and black pepper, because that's going to cause the tomatoes to render their juice and make the sauce. So we're going to stir that around a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt, about 1/2 teaspoon. And of course some freshly ground from our Avanti pepper grinder, black pepper. And then you can already start to see, where should I go with this? I want to show them how it's already given up their juice. Okay. We need it. Can you see how it's already starting, the tomatoes already starting to give up their juice? It's just wonderful. And that is basically it. So, if you got in a bind at night or something, if you were trying to get something on the table in a hurry, you could even use a good quality canned tomato. I would use Progresso whole tomatoes or something like that. But it's going to cook 10, 15, 20 minutes just till it's thick and chunky and all the flavors have melded together. And then I'll show you when we come back several different things that we can do with this wonderful, wonderful sauce. We'll be right back with more Holly's House. Welcome back to Holly's House. I just wanted to thank everybody at the restaurant for making this beautiful fettuccine for me tonight. Our sauce is done. It's beautiful. And we're going to be making several dishes with it tonight. First thing we're going to be making is pizza puttanesca. We're also going to be doing pasta puttanesca. Another thing that you could do with the sauce is put it on bread. Get a loaf of sourdough bread and cut it like that, and grill it or toast it, and put the puttanesca sauce on top of that, and that would be like a bruschetta puttanesca. Easy for you to say. So before we start doing the pizzas, I'm going to put the fresh fettuccine in to cook, and I have lots of salted water. And this is fresh pasta, so it only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. And I just salted the water. I didn't put oil in. Usually when I'm cooking with dried pasta or bought pasta, I'll put a little bit of oil in for flavor and to kind of loosen it up a little bit. Fresh pasta doesn't really need that, especially when you're going to be tossing it with the sauce. If it was coated with olive oil, it wouldn't be able to absorb the sauce. So we're just going to let that cook for a little bit, just a couple of minutes. Lots of boiling water. And while that cooks, we will, let me put this over here. We'll put together our pizza puttanesca. I have 2 pizza crusts too from the restaurant. We make our own pizza crust. It's a very old recipe that my mother got in Italy in the 60s. It's very good. And so I'm going to move my sauce over here so it'll be easier to get to. You could purchase a prepared pizza crust at the market, would be just as good too. See our sauce. This is such a wonderful lusty sauce. So we'll just spread this out on the pizza crust like that. You don't need a lot because it is so robust and full of flavor. I already have my oven preheated, do it at, I would cook it at the restaurant at Avanti. We have pizza ovens, pizza stones, and we cook our pizzas at 750 degrees, and they're done very quickly. My oven here at the house, being a commercial gas range, goes up to 650, so it's ready to go. So it won't take the pizza long at all to cook. Okay, I also have some mozzarella cheese and some grated Romano cheese. I like to combine the two with this kind of a sauce because it's so robust. If you just put mozzarella on there, you wouldn't have the flavor of the cheese at all. It would all be taken up by the sauce. So we're going to put this Romano on there. Romano being a sheep's milk cheese. There we go. Let me put this right over here. And then we'll put some mozzarella on. Being a buffalo cheese. Okay. And then we'll get these ready to go in the oven. Okay, let me move this right back over here and get the pan. And we'll lift these onto our cookie sheet. No cookies, just pizza. And then I'll pop these in the oven, and these should be done since my pizza crust is already cooked in, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because my oven's so hot. Excuse me. Pop those in. Okay. Wunderbar. Now I'm doing a lot of mixing around over here, aren't I? Move this over here. Okay, now our fettuccine should be done. Let's look at that, see how that's doing. Oh, it looks beautiful. Let's see. Yep, it's perfect. Al dente, which means to the tooth, firm yet tender. A lot of Americans are used to cooking their pasta to death, and it's just gummy, and we're still doing it al dente at the restaurant. So I'm not even going to drain it in a colander. I'm just going to lift it up like this because the pasta water will add to the sauce. In Italy, the focus is on the pasta, because when you have this delicious homemade pasta, you don't need to cover it up with all that sauce, whereas most Americans tend to cover their pasta with sauce. So this puttanesca sauce is so flavorful and robust, you don't need a whole lot of sauce on your wonderful homemade pasta. So we'll just put that like so. And then we'll go over here to our sauce. And we'll spoon our sauce onto our pasta, like so. You could put it on top, or you could toss it in the pan. Just whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Like so. Beautiful, beautiful. Spread it around a little bit. Like so. Let's put it right. Okay. And then what we would do would garnish with some Parmesan and Romano cheeses, like so. And some fresh parsley, which I still have some over here. Put some fresh parsley. Voila, very good. Now let's check our pizzas. I smell something. Ooh, they're beautiful. They're hot. Turn the oven off here. That was pretty quick. Okay, our pizzas are done. They are beautiful. Okay, we'll put one out on the board here and cut it, and then I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience, I think, to come taste that. Ooh, ooh. Let's put both of them out here. Very beautiful.
Okay, Holly, nominate me.
Oh.
And I got
How
a
lucky!
timer.
How lucky for you.
Ooh, I got 2 minutes to eat.
Okay,
Look
we'll
at
cut
this.
it.
Kelsey, you get over here with me too. You've been looking at this the whole show. Come on.
You know, it's so funny that people
Your
wouldn't
hair
think
is
that
so good, isn't it? Look, yummy.
kids would like this, but they do. There was some kids that were here with their family, of course, and they just loved it.
Your mom
But it's
said
a little
we
hot right now, isn't it?
We might just, blow on it. We can smell it. Just smelling it's good. Ooh, doesn't that look yummy?
Well, excuse me. Well, I'm trying to cut it. Okay. Let me get a spatula here.
Doesn't that look yummy? Well, your daddy's going to sharpen the knives when he gets
Yeah.
home. Mr. Mac's flying right now, right?
Yeah, so. I know. Okay. That's wonderful. Okay. Kelsey, you want to, okay.
Let's get you a napkin.
No, Kelsey, I think, Helen, you're the one that, because Helen doesn't like anchovies, and I'm going to prove a point.
Okay.
That if you didn't know that the anchovies were in
You want
there,
to hold this? And
why don't you get a plate? Let me
Okay,
get you a
I
plate.
got a napkin. Are you kidding me? I'm a napkin girl.
That you wouldn't know the anchovies were in there unless you were told. Boy, it's smoky in here from that
It's from the
700-degree oven.
Thank you for doing the show today.
You're
Holly, 'cause I
welcome.
know you're
Yeah,
not feeling well.
my voice is about to go. It's
Ooh.
very hot. And I'm going to get a bowl, and I'm sure Wendy will try this, even though Jim doesn't like it.
Let me come over here by you, Holly, because I don't have a mic real quick, and I just want to thank our sponsors.
Oh, that would be very nice, wouldn't it? BorderBandit.net, Ram Country, Plaza del Sol Mall, Valverde Regional Medical Center. Thank our sponsors, Rick's Furniture Company. Thank you all so much for making this possible.
Keep watching, because we're going to be putting the address to Holly's house and where to write, Holly Warner, at Holly's house, KTRG TV 10. So if you hang on after the credits, we'll have the address up, so be sure to write us. Ooh, Holly, this is one.
Is it good? Thanks, because my voice is like really going.
And this has anchovies in it?
Anchovies and capers. Kelsey, don't let baby get it. Thank y'all very much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Write to me. Come see us at Avanti, and thanks a lot. Bye.